that? Never mind that. What was that?
Hi!
Who are you?
Barf!
Not in here, mister. This is a Mercedes.
Nah, that's my name. Barf!
Barf? What are you?
BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast. Sorry about missing that beginning of that intro. The little stress that we had at the beginning of the show tonight still hasn't worn off quite yet. That was touch and go for a moment there with the Belchertown internet.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm the commish. This is the BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 4 of this season. Joining me is the owner of Born to Run, who once again made the trek out to the studio, Walt here. Walt,
hey.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks. Great to be here. Well worth the trek because there's a lot to talk about this week, and I hope we get some people joining us as well.
Yep. This is going to be quite a interesting week, and feedback from as many people as possible because there was drama all up and down this scoreboard this week.
Sure was.
And we're going to start looking at that scoreboard. I'm going to bring it onto the screen, I think. And where do you want to start? Many good games to talk about.
Well, why don't we get my game over against the now soaring again Eagles?
Yeah, this is Team Soaring Eagles picks up their second win of the young season with a 137-114 victory over reeling Born to Run. Soaring Eagles scored, I believe, 136 last week, 137 this week. Surging at the right time. You know, you want to start off, the stick is usually 7. We usually say you want to get about 7 wins to have 2 after 3 weeks. That's a good place to be. What was the key to the game this week?
I think the key was the Soaring Eagles had a really, just solid week from everybody. That's, I think, as an owner, that's what you want. The one person that kind of didn't do much was Nico, which we were, kind of talking up last week. But the Cheetah went off. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, did great. Good production. Pierce, came back to life. So
absolutely.
And Swift, I think, we're all waiting for him to get hurt, but I do like DeAndre Swift a lot. And then flip it on my side, Bijan didn't do anything, and the killers were, who I thought were going to really have a great week was Ridley and Lawrence, who just basically, crapped themselves. Basically.
Jacksonville is not having the year that I know I thought that they were going to.
For sure.
When you look at the big, you call the big 3, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and Calvin Ridley, and just they're struggling to get something going.
They really are. And, I put, as they say, they tell you diversifying investing, but I kind of put a few of my eggs in that one basket.
You did.
So
you did.
It's my bet. I gotta sleep in it right now. But I think, and I think this might be my theme overall is it's only week 3. There's injuries that are happening. It's no time to panic yet.
Yeah.
You got to ride it out and just let's see what happens.
I agree. There's not a team that there's so many weeks left. There's not a team that needs to be hanging their heads. We even looking down the bottom of the standings, if you don't have a win yet, it's 3 weeks. Hopefully you're getting all that out of your system. We'll talk about that later on. But, you need to get that, when you get 6, you're on the edge. You need to get that 7th win. And that's really, if you're just looking to get in the playoffs, that's the number you need to be shooting
That's
for.
right. That's right. And again, you can't lose it this early in the season.
Right.
I mean, there's plenty of time, and as I say, no need to panic quite yet.
No need to panic quite yet. So at the top of your lineup, Trevor Lawrence and Bijan Robinson are going to be flying out to London for the 9:30 a.m. Game. So owners, make sure that you're checking your lineups early, late Saturday night or early Sunday morning, because Jacksonville and Atlanta will be in London starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is that a jump start for these teams and the players on these teams?
I don't know. I got to tell you, that was not the matchup I was hoping or the venue to jumpstart Ridley and Lawrence.
I agree.
Atlanta I think can be tough, so I'm a little worried. But this is the classic where you overreact, you switch them out, and then they both go off, and then you want to just kick yourself. So
100%.
Yeah, they're my horses. I'm riding them, and so be it. We'll see what happens.
Got it. Let me jump over. What I didn't check is the chat just quick. I don't know what that does to our screen. No one is on yet, so we'll go back. And so on the other side of the ball, Soaring Eagles. I'm screwing everything up here. Easy. There we go. Soaring Eagles gets yet another great week from the number one wide receiver in fantasy football, Tyreek Hill. Is that Sean Payton? Like, how much crow can you eat? All of the trash he was talking about Nathaniel Hackett, and they quit. There's just nothing else you can say when you have two fantasy running backs eating up clock at the end of the game because it's so out of hand, and they're still destroying you. That's ugly to watch.
Yeah, I mean, what would you expect them to do? You know, fall down and just stop? I mean, they did everything they could to try not to run up the score. And yet, like you said, they just quit. Right? You know, they just flat out quit. And I was worried about that matchup. Tyreek Hill, thank God, he could have had, I don't know, 80 points if they would have kept.
If they wanted to run that up, there's no doubt there was nothing anyone was doing to stop him.
Absolutely.
Two running backs for Miami. Mostert, we'll talk about, went for 45 points. And sitting in free agent land after being dumped a couple times, Devon Achane, 52 points from a running back.
Wow.
Benefiting no one.
Yeah.
It just hurts to talk about it.
I'd have taken some big cojones to put him in your
It
lineup
would.
and start up. But
It would.
yeah, hey,
Like,
we've seen stranger things though.
It's a crapshoot. And
absolutely.
it'll be interesting to me to see who runs to the Devon Achane free agent pickup and what that's going to cost this
Well,
week.
I know who won't be. It'll be Christian because he depleted all his money. So
There is one owner that will not be bidding for
that's
Devon
correct.
Achane this week. That's right. Oh, I love it. Yeah, and also good things on the bench. Tua Tagovailoa, cannot get in a starting lineup in this league. Goes for 33 points this week. He outplays. He's having his career year. Can't crack the BARFF starting lineups. So
nice problem to have, as they
nice
say.
problem,
I kind of wish I had that problem, but so good for the Eagles.
Absolutely good start for them. Glad to see them up in the winning column this week. Where do you want to go now?
Well, I think maybe probably the most one-sided game of the week. We'll get it out of the way because he's not on right now, so I can talk some nice things about him. The Pantloads against no lineup needed.
Sody Pantloads takes out no lineup, 172 to 121. This is a difficult week for no lineup. 121, you're not hanging your head, but not enough firepower, and it drops him to 0-3.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because, like you said, he's not winning all the games, but at half of the league, he would have probably won with that score. So, yeah, that hurts. There's no question. He just ran into a buzzsaw of, the Pantloads. I mean, I don't know. I never saw the Zach Moss 23 points coming against Baltimore. That was came out of nowhere.
No, the Pantloads made some really good decisions. They're still riding with Rashad White, which I don't like, but that Zach Moss plug and play, you can't argue with it. And they finally get the game that they needed out of their number one draft pick. Jamar Chase comes to life.
Oh yeah, they were doing everything they could to get him the ball. They were moving around.
Yep.
He was he was in a slot. So the Bengals did everything they could do. And then I think you said this in a text on Sunday, tough to overcome a 39-point defense.
You're not winning. You're not winning.
You're not going to win.
Nope.
And I mean, that's again, this is a theme, to me, a reoccurring theme. The defenses are having such a huge impact this year on games.
It is. This is the second time, I believe, that we've seen a defense go over 30. And you're winning. If you're not winning when your defense goes over 30, you've made terrible decisions and your players hate you. I don't even know what to say.
No kidding. And I don't know, maybe next year it's a defense hero strategy. We used to laugh when people would take them in the first few rounds. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I may rethink that after the way this year is going. It's insane.
You know what I was looking at? So the Jaguars get a -7, and Christian certainly said some negative things about the Jacksonville D, and as well he should have. So I jumped on to see what did Denver's D score. And I'm sorry, that's what I thought too, but I don't mean to rub any salt in any wounds for no lineup. But Denver's defense was -4. And the Jags, -7. That's tough. The
real,
team that gave up 70 scored better than your team this week.
Oh man, that
hurts.
Oof.
Yep. Yep.
That's a killer right there.
Yeah, he spends all his money on Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford comes in with 18 points. That's a good showing.
Sure.
For that
Maybe you should spend money on picking up a different team. No, it's Christian. I apologize for piling on. But.
The story for no lineup while we're piling on and it's raining and pouring is 26 points from Mike Williams, and that's all you're getting out of him this season.
It's over.
It's sad. What a great player.
Yep.
And that offense is clicking. Everyone's getting fed, and he's out for the season. Terrible loss.
Yep. And, I kind of feel because, I thought DJ Moore, and he may, again, early, but Justin Fields has been killing him.
Right.
That's the guy he figures he's going to plug in, but I don't know. I mean, I would say it's not a 5-alarm fire at no line needed HQ, but the smoke alarms are going off, I think.
It's hard. Sox fan 7687 has jumped on board in the chat. He's rooting for the Pantloads. That's not a surprise. He has a tendency to do that. They're calling the Pantloads a wagon. 2-0 since Born to Run. Said the Loads aren't making the playoffs. So there's a little bulletin board material that's been posted, and they're keeping careful track over at Sox fan 7687.
Yeah, they should be thanking me over there that I said that. So it's kind of helped. So we'll see though. Again, it's early on.
It's early.
I've seen teams start 3-0 and then lose like 7 in a row.
Yep.
So anything's possible.
Yep. Streaks are bad sometimes.
Absolutely.
They can work against it. Where do you want to go now?
Let's go to, the game that I thought was, really kind of a critical game. Huey Lewis and the Beans, because we got two teams, two proud owners.
Absolutely. And this game was, even though it was our lowest scoring game, it was the most back and forth battle that we had of the week. And Boston Beans pick up their first win of the season, edging out Huey Lewis and the News 108-103. Again, both teams now at 1-2. And what was the key to this? Like, how does this get pulled out?
I think it comes down to, Huey bet on the running backs and a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then, when you're getting 10, 9, and 8? Yeah, 8. And Christian McCaffrey is pretty much kind of canceling them out.
That out.
I mean, I think that's it. That's what, when it comes down to that, that's probably was what decided it. I mean, I will say the Huey, I think picked up a gem in Laporta, the tight end from Detroit.
Absolutely.
He looks legit.
Yep.
He looks really, really good.
What is he ranked third? I don't want to.
I mean, he's got to be.
He's having a great year already.
And and I was listening to Dan Campbell on my way here, and he was like, he's just getting better and better. He said so. That's a stud pick right there.
Absolutely. It doesn't seem like they want to give the keys to Jahmyr Gibbs yet.
Right, for whatever reason.
Yeah, so he's a rookie and it's only 3 games.
Yep.
9 points. That's not god awful, but it's not really
what you were thinking with that matchup and Montgomery not playing.
Right.
You definitely was thinking a lot more. So, yeah, that's a tough one. That was again Beans though. I think it's great to get that goose egg out of there and get on the win column. Takes a little pressure off. So absolutely, I think Beans. If you look at I like the Mike Evans. A lot of people were down on him. I said he's got to throw to somebody, and it looks like it's Mike Evans.
Sure does.
But you got Jalen Hurts and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
not a bad. That's
going to get you some wins. Yeah.
He's knows what he's got at running back or what he doesn't have. So those moves would be interesting to see. I saw that he went with Kareem Hunt, which didn't really. I mean, he just got a jersey, a couple days ago.
Yeah.
so we'll see what that bench can do to make up for this combination of Brian Robinson and Najee Harris in the lineups right now. Either these guys turn it around, or that could be a pretty heavy weight for the Beans to be dragging around all year.
Yeah, Najee might need to go. I think that's the guy. And it's good for him. He's trying to got Hunt, maybe. Zeke. I mean, Zeke had 9. Maybe that's the guy. At least you're going to get something, reasonable at him. But, going back to the Huey, Breece Hall. I mean, as soon as Rodgers got hurt, is now that going to be just?
I know.
A wasted?
What a disaster that's going on. I don't know that. I mean, is Aaron Rodgers that much of a difference maker for that terrible team, the Jets? They're just, nothing is working. And would that one person have made the difference?
That's unfortunate because, like I said, if you knew that, you're not picking Breece Hall. We ended up picking him.
Right.
So.
I mean, they've got, I think, Jalen Warren 2 more weeks. I think that he just starts to get fed by Pittsburgh, and so that'll pan out for him. And we'll see. James Conner has had a really nice week this week.
James Conner is good.
Year.
Yeah, he's been really consistent. I'm looking. He's number 9 ranked RB.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
Yep. I don't blame him for going Javonte Williams versus Miami because, you thought that would be more of a competitive game and more people would get involved, and Denver ended up just laying down. So.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a miracle he got 8 points with as lopsided as that game was.
Absolutely. So both of these teams, 1 and 2, the Beans pick up their first win of the year, and Huey Lewis just has a little hiccup this week. We'll see what teams do to make themselves better.
Hey, they're in good company. 1 and 2 is a nice place to be.
It's a lot of teams 1 and 2.
A lot of teams 1 and 2. Nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
So let's look at the revival.
All right.
The Knuckleheads. What are you?
Knuckleheads.
Week high, for goodness gracious.
Week high score. I feel bad for the Rifle. The Rifle fall to 1 and 2. This is a 178 to 144 victory for the Knuckleheads. If you're scoring 144 points, what else can you do? A lot of teams are feeling that way. Teams that scored enough to win, and you just don't. And so Knuckleheads rise up to 2 and 1. Springfield Rifle at 1 and 2. Good performances all the way around. Both teams looked good.
Well, how many times do you think when you get 45 points out of a player that someone's going to go there and match you and then throw 43 from someone else?
It is a rare yet amazing feeling when you see your opponent have a 45 on his roster and you just balance that right out.
That's insane. It's just insane.
That is pretty good. They were also, again, betrayed by Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
You're not expecting to get 2 points from Derrick Henry. So
concerning, I feel, and the other one was the Joshua Kelly, which I mean, if you read more watched videos about, he was the hot guy to pick up, right?
With Eckler down, he's going to get fed, and that just did not turn out to be the case.
Yep, and so that's. I mean, that was a killer too. And then, the Matt Stafford 13-2 against, Herbert's 33.
Yep.
So those right there. But, I mean, Derrick Henry is concerning to me.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah. There are teams, I would have put the Bengals in that category. Now it looks like they've got a little something going on, but there's teams that just haven't come out of the gate this year, and now we're this is week 4. You're closing out the first month. If you haven't figured it out by now, it could be a long season.
And what I liked on the Knuckleheads was Joe Mixon looked pretty good. Yeah, and the Bengals in general, their offense looks so much better. Yeah. So I think they always seem to start slow.
They're clicking. Yeah. So that's hopefully some more will come. I'd like more than 13, but I think he's going to be that 13, 14, 15 guy. And I'll take it.
No doubt.
Mostert's a nice plug and play for while Barkley's out. Is he going to get 45 points every week? Boy, that offense looks so good. I can't say no, but I doubt it.
Number 1 ranked running back.
Yeah.
And did you draft him, right? That was a free agent pickup,
late round draft.
Yeah. So we've been talking earlier about what could be the steal. We got a prime candidate now. Number 1, 27.7 points. He looks fast again.
Yep.
So I think it always comes down to him is the same thing as some of these other guys. Can he stay healthy?
13th round draft pick.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's pretty good. That could work out. We'll see. That whole offense right now, that Miami
just clicking.
Team, they are clicking. They look great.
Let's see the Moppers and. Maybe I heard he might call in.
Yeah, we're going to move on to talk about the number 1 team in BARFF right now. Worst team ever at 3-0. Puts up a big 147 to take out Whopper Moppers and hand them their first.
On cue, right?
3-0.
Perfect. There he is. I can hit. Yeah, he's got the podcast playing in the back. You're gonna have to turn that
muted now.
The Moppers suffered their first win. They were 2-0. This was a battle of 2-0 teams. Someone had to lose, and the Moppers came up on the wrong end of it, 147 to 125. Walt, tell me about what you saw as the key to this game.
The key is that guy that's going to probably, I already saw, he has the most yards for any receiver ever for the first 3 games of the season, Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Which, kind of annoys me because I drafted him last year for that same reason, and he was good, but he's on a scary, scary pace.
Yeah.
So you got Jefferson, Kenneth Walker, man. I had him last year. I must say I was a little skeptical.
Yeah, I was skeptical coming into this
but,
year, too.
he's picking it right up, and Chris Olave.
Yep.
I just think, again, as a well-rounded team, worst team ever looks pretty good. It got, you're not even 3-0, and Waddle's been out with concussion.
Yep.
That's not too shabby.
Right. 3-0. You're missing one of those players. Sox fan 7687 is saying league sources are saying that the knuckleheads are back, and I appreciate that. We'll see how it goes. But Ty, let's keep talking about worst team ever's 3-0 start. Were you at any point nervous during this game, and do you think you're going to be able to stay up at the top of the standings?
Yeah, a little bit at first when Jefferson seemed like he was getting the targets in the first half. It was kind of the tale of two halves of that, first game there that Tom and I both had a lot riding on. Yeah. It was pretty much all Cousins and Madison in the first half, and then until Jefferson caught that 52-yarder that he brought home for the touchdown, that really seems like is when it kind of turned the tide there for this game. I wasn't really concerned after that, especially when Olave got a couple of garbage points at the end of the Green Bay game. To get him over 15, I felt pretty comfortable at that point. Nice.
Yeah, looking at the other side of the ball, again, when you're putting up 120-something points, you can't really hang your head too much. He had solid performances. T. Higgins has been a really disappointing story this year, and he gets the -2 from the Dallas D against Arizona.
Hey,
who can predict that?
No, he played his cards that he used to beat me, which was the Hunter Henry Cowboys D, and like you said, and then throwing T. Higgins. You're talking a whopping 5 points out of those 3.
That's terrible.
That's not going to cut it. Once again, the D kind of did factor in a little, especially the Cowboys D. No way you expected them to do a minus.
Absolutely
against the Cardinals.
I know. Clearly, you want to talk about looking past the team.
Oh, God, they didn't show up.
They did not show up at all.
They did not. They played with no passion at all in that.
I saw good things from Zay Flowers. I think that this is a player that's going to start creeping up into that teens every week. And on the bench, you had Romeo Doubs, who seems to be developing that rapport with Jordan Love. And he puts up 18 points this week. Adam Thielen. Coming out of nowhere. Old man Thielen. Does this 32-point performance on the bench, does he make his way into your starting lineup based on that?
I'm almost like stumped and don't know what to do. It's back-to-back points over 20, outings over 20 points, but you're telling me that I have to bench Jefferson, Olave, or Waddle to put him in? It puts me in a tough spot, but hey, it's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have.
I'm not complaining.
I don't think it puts you in a tough spot. I think you make that choice, it's going to bring a lot of second guessing that you go with him. And I think what really helped though was Dalton went in there and they just let Dalton chuck the ball around for, I don't know, what do you have, like 52 throws, something like that. Some ridiculous amount.
And he just leans on Thielen, and so that's going to be a thing for as long as he's in there.
We got
Sox fan is saying, Ty, that you're already overthinking. No love for worst team ever from Sox fan 7687. It's weird. It's weird.
Trying to play some head games or something.
Yeah.
He's just supporting his favorite team, Sody Pantloads.
But the Moppers will be fine. They got Diggs, Brown, and Higgins ain't going to get 4 points every week that. So.
And Cousins is having a great year.
It's incredible.
Let's just take a quick click and see where
he's got to be.
He's won.
He's won. Yeah, he's having a great year, and this is a fly under the radar player. People ignored him at the draft, and he's your number 1 ranked fantasy football quarterback right now.
Yeah, he's going to break his heart, though, if you stay with him. I've had him so many times. That guy, when you need him, when it really, really matters, he finds a way to screw you. So, but, yeah, so there's another one, right? It goes to show. You get someone that just, out there on the waiver wire, And
Ride it out.
and then you throw him in there, and look at this. He's got the number one rated quarterback, a guy that wasn't even drafted.
Exactly right. That's crazy.
It is 33
33
crazy.
points this week. We'll see what he does next week. So, Ty, you sit at the top of the rankings. Let's take a look at the standings. Worst team ever is pulling in at 3-0. We've got a group of 2-1 teams: Knuckleheads, Soaring Eagles, Sody Pantloads, and the Whopper Moppers pulling in at 2-1. And then that glut of 1-2s. Rifle Born to Run, Boston Beans, and Huey Lewis are all at 1-2. No lineup pulling in at 0-3 right now. But it's 0-3. If you're at 0-5, 0-6, then panic.
Yeah.
Then it's time to start lighting fires. But right now, 0-3, you can salvage it.
Yeah, the thing I like to look at this point is where's the points for at?
Right.
Right. So you got worst team ever, clearly ahead of everyone. That's 4-11. But when I say that, even if you look at the lowest one at 65, 11, 76 differential, not a huge number.
Right.
And the other thing is, look at the teams 360 to 335. I mean, that's 8 teams of the whole league.
Right.
So guess what?
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe you can have anyone really super distancing
Right.
themselves with that. What I see for the points for so far. So.
Yeah, teams have been up and down. You know, I've been under 100 and over 140. Like it's early,
Yeah.
and it's just time to trust your gut and go with the picks that you want to make, pickups that you want to make, and we'll see where we are in a month. In a month, then everything will start sorting out.
And the bad part is, and I think the knuckleheads can relate to this, is the lower points for and the highest points against.
Yeah, that's
Not a good formula
no,
for BARFF success.
no.
And how does that always happen?
It's terrible.
It
Because
just
it's a bad fit. You feel like, well, what can I do?
Exactly.
There's nothing I can do. Everyone's coming and beating me up. So
yeah, I mean that's a lot of points against early in the
lot
year.
of points against.
So-
There's no doubt.
Christian, I'm knocking on wood for you. I'm hoping this ain't gonna be one of those kind of years.
Yeah. You definitely. You know, they had all the success during the regular season last year, and we'll see. You know, it didn't get them that BARFF title. We've talked about this time and time again. Ty, you felt that pain. Walt, you felt the pain.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have that great regular season, and then you go into the playoffs, and that's when your team decides that they're going to lay an egg for you, and that's good. You get a little extra ching for winning the regular season, but not a lot.
No, it's meaningless. And honestly, I can speak for myself. It hurts way more than making it to the championship when you were 7-7. You know that hurts. But when you have a great record and you just expect that you're gonna just kind of win, and no, that's a killer. So yes, I feel for him.
Yeah, that's rough, but that's why we play games.
That's
and we've
right.
got a new, fresh, exciting week
Yep.
to talk about, and so let's take a
Short
look.
memory.
NFL Week 4, BARFF Week 4. As I jump the scoreboard, get it to the proper week, and let's just go. No lineup needed is going to pull in against the Knuckleheads this week. 10-point swing on the projection right now. I have to imagine that they're going to try some Thursday pickups, or try to swing a trade. Is it time? Let's talk about that. We talk about not panicking, but you're sitting at 0-3 and you've spent all of your money. Is it time to start looking at people to move?
I think it's definitely worth a consideration, and especially for no lineup. They definitely got some trade capital to work with, in my opinion. I see guys there that definitely would generate some interest with other owners. So I think it's definitely a consideration for no lineup to just maybe dangling some out there. The hard part is, how the BARFF owners are. They sense a little desperation, and to try to get a equitable trade when you're down, it'd be challenging.
I don't know anything about that, but it's interesting.
I'll actually go ahead and defend no lineup there. He has not stooped down to that level on the trades. There might have been some talk in some front offices, but he's still asking, I feel, what a fair price is for his players. So
yes.
I don't think he's stooped down to that level.
Okay, so the desperation hasn't set in yet. Okay,
I don't sense it.
This is an honorable owner. Like we're not certainly
No
not
doubt.
suggesting that there would be anything untoward going on. But so if you are looking at no lineups, lineup, Who are you moving?
It's hard because, your one of your marquee guys is quarterbacks. I feel overall BARFF in general undervalues quarterbacks. So I say, Mahomes, no. I say the premiums usually, everyone loves Travis Kelce, and now he's dating Taylor Swift, supposedly.
She was at the game with his mom.
That's what I mean. So I think he's going to perform. I'd be really interested in Kelce if I was approaching no lineup, and I think CeeDee Lamb also generates that kind of interest because BARFF loves receivers as well.
I'm going to agree with that. I'm an owner that took Travis Kelce in the first round once and traded him. Not week 3, but it wasn't that long after. Ty, on this no lineup needed roster, who do you move?
I might have to excuse myself from the conversation based on some talks I've had with the owner, but he certainly has some desirable players on that lineup. I don't know if I agree with the Mahomes thing. I could actually see that as trade bait just because of the success that some of the other teams have had with some of those guys you wouldn't really expect. I mean, Kirk Cousins, a perfect example, turning out to be the number 1 QB. So I don't think that would really destroy him if he trades away him. There's a couple guys on the waiver wire I think that he could survive off of. So that's the only one I'll talk to at this moment.
All right, let's look at this game. It's a 10-point swing by projection right now, and there's an awful lot of green arrows on the Knucklehead side. Does no lineup pull off the victory this week?
It's scaring me again. The Knuckleheads would not be the opponent I'd want to be playing when you're looking for. The Knuckleheads are hot. The Knuckleheads have I think a very nice schedule.
Yeah, these are good matchups this week.
And so I think you say, wow, Denver's DJ Moore, but the Bears offense has been so bad.
Yep.
Kelce against the Jets good D. I think they'll definitely will slow them down a little. Yeah, Stevenson against Dallas. He'll do all right. I mean, Dallas to me, you can run against the Cowboys for sure. Even though it looked like they improved a lot, but I think the Cardinals show you can still run against them.
Yeah.
So I hate to say it, I think the Knuckleheads actually tie for the amount of wins they got last year if they win this week.
Yeah.
I got to look at the history. I don't know how many. Yeah,
I'm not sure that we had 3 wins. It was a dark year.
I mean, this is something.
There's been an awful lot of dark years, and so we'll see if this is going to turn around.
Yeah, I don't know if it might be a reversal of fortunes here, unfortunately.
I like Knuckleheads this week just with the Mostert matchup and the Devontae Adams matchup. I think that those are 2 pretty juicy matchups. I think those players are going to go pretty big.
Yeah, mixing against Tennessee, don't hate that either.
Yeah, I like that too. Ty, what do you think about this matchup, Knuckleheads versus no lineup?
Yeah, I would say I think you just have to get by the Mahomes-Kelce, but unfortunately that game's later in the day, so you're going to be kind of beating him to it. But, I mean, based on some of your matchups, yeah, I think I like Knuckleheads in this one.
All right, boy. If I had 3 wins after 4 weeks.
How many people voted for you? 3 like last year. This is...
Yeah, right? Not good. I haven't even looked to see what Watson must be like smoke coming out of him with what's going on in this league right now. I think sitting in second place. That's.
I think Sox fan is all over it with the rumors they heard.
Let's see what. Let's talk about Soaring Eagles and Whopper Moppers. 2-2-1 teams. This one's projected dead even.
Wow, look at that.
And yeah, both having good starts. Who do you like in this matchup?
Wow, this is a really tricky. I mean, St. Brown, Green Bay, Hill against Buffalo. Tyreek Hill is going to score points against Buffalo. There's no question about it. And Miami has had last year they had a lot of success against Buffalo scoring. So even though Buffalo's D is fairly stout, I think Mostert and Hill are still going to have good weeks. I notice he has Aaron Jones plugged in as of right now for the Thursday night game. Man, this is really a pick'em. I there's no question. So I think when I get to that point, the way this year has been going down, what defense do I like better on their matchup? And I think it's going to come down to that.
Yeah.
So you got Niners against Arizona and the Cowboys against New England. New England has a really hard time scoring. Their offense is not good. I think the Cowboys will. Arizona looks better than I thought they would be from the games I watched against the Giants and the Cowboys. I'm going to give the Whopper Moppers winning by a whisker.
All right, we got one vote for Whopper Moppers. Ty, what do you think this week?
Yeah, that's the way I'm leaning right now. But I think if he has a healthy Aaron Jones, I think I might give the edge to Soaring Eagles. But I think it's going to come down to that if he plays or not.
All right, I see DeAndre Swift going 25 points or better this week, and Nico Collins is going to have a bounce back. He's going to go over 20. I think that's going to carry Soaring Eagles over the top.
That's not a bad call there. I think that's a good matchup against Pitt. So, yep, for sure.
All right, two teams on opposite ends of the spectrum last week. We had worst team ever pulling out their third straight win to sit on the top of the standings with a huge point total. Huey Lewis struggled to score, and they're projected to continue that struggle. Right now, worst team ever projected very, very big 134 to 105. Ty, this is your game. I'm going to start with you. Do you agree with these projections? Are you sweating at all?
Hey, it's any given Sunday, right? You never know what could happen out there. So there's never a free win out there, but you almost feel a little bit bad when you see all the check marks on one side of the board there.
Yeah.
I would think if everything goes according to plan, that I think I'll be able to come out on top in this one.
Walt, there are a sea of green check marks.
Ty, I think you should switch out your kicker and see if you can actually, have every single check mark because it's the only one. Is it still a push, or does it give him the edge? On the app, it looks like it gave him the edge, but on the computer, it was showing a no. It's a push. It's a push.
It is. All right.
That's why I don't think it would take much for you to get that extra check mark on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this: if you got Waddle playing, and I think they said he was still in concussion protocol as of today. So I mean, if you get Waddle in the lineup, but even without that, I think Walker against the Giants. That's not a good matchup. For Huey, Olave, Tampa, their pass defense is not great. I think Mark Andrews against Cleveland, that's a nice matchup. You are rolling the dice with Danny Dimes, so if I had to say if there was an area of concern, but he's got Deshaun against Baltimore. That's divisional rivals. They know him well, so I mean I can't argue with the projections. Worst team ever for me.
It's hard to go against a 29-point swing with the odds, but I'm going to say this. This Huey Lewis team was built around the running back, and those running backs, if James Conner rises up like he's got a tough defensive matchup, but Jahmyr Gibbs has a great-looking game against Green Bay, and Josh Jacobs with the Chargers, I think Las Vegas and the Chargers is a high-scoring game. If those three players can have exceptional games, then I think Huey Lewis may be able to make it a game. I can't go and outright say they're going to be worst team ever.
The upset.
But I think this is going to be more of a game than this 29-point projection calls for. We'll see what those three players do.
Yeah, the one thing I'll dampen Gibbs. I heard again, listen, Dan Campbell, Montgomery probably is going to play Thursday.
Hey. Well, maybe forget what I said.
Who knows? I mean, you know how that goes. He could warm up, and then they say, nah, he's not ready to go. So, I mean, Gibbs, he can, reel off a 60-yarder.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean. Right.
How many times are we seeing that this year where a player like Tyreek Hill comes to mind and Justin Jefferson comes to mind? These guys go out and they get like 11 points on a play.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's got to be a great feeling. And so that's the big swing of the week right now, 134 to 135, 105 in the projections. A little bit of a closer game, Springfield Rifle. They lost a heartbreaker to the Knuckleheads last week. They did everything that they needed to do to win. They just didn't pick up that W, and that happens sometimes. They're projected to take out Born to Run 123 to 117. Walt, this is your game. Do you agree or disagree, and why do you think?
Well, I'm going to say, if you're projecting 16 from Derrick Henry, what has he averaged? I mean, it says 11, and I'm even skeptical of that.
It's your 20th ranked running back in fantasy football.
Yeah. So I think that's it, right? If Henry does the projection of 11. That's good for them. Sanders is definitely questionable. I didn't know Debo got a questionable tag. I do like that matchup.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, another guy who I was putting in his grave saying he was too old.
No.
Yeah, he's killing it. Yeah. That Vegas matchup, I mean, geez, that one scares the living hell out of me.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen's ranked number 2. So another classic call by Born to Run was saying he was on the downside of decline. So wonderful. So I think I would love a blowout for me, but unfortunately, I have a feeling this is going to be a really, really, really tight game, and I could see it coming down right to the end again.
I'm hearing that we're frozen, and we are frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, boy. Hopefully we have internet. Hold on, people.
The signal looks low.
The signal does look low. That's not terrific. But we are still going. I wonder if it is audio. Ty, are you hearing us? Can you turn your stream up and see if the audio is going through?
Yeah, sure.
I think Mark.
Yeah, we got audio.
Okay,
we got audio.
So we're just frozen. So yeah, it's probably a little glitchy internet. So we're going to continue to march, and hopefully that will resolve itself. Tough times here in Belchertown with that mighty Spectrum internet that we have. Yeah, Keenan Allen is looking crazy scary. And yeah, you know what we should have done this week is we should have gone back to bomb screen and punt from last week and see how we did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, maybe I'll get that squared away for next time. Calvin Ridley against Atlanta over in London. I'd like to say, like we talked about it earlier, going to London, it's either the travel's going to kill these guys or they're going to get so fired up. They were in London before, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they did good. Jacksonville did when they were in London.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. But don't count out BTR doing something that might shake some things up
could
here.
Be
so
some moves.
I have something in mind that I'm considering.
Ty, without the benefit of knowing what the future holds for any moves, as it stands right now, who do you have in this one between the rifle and Born to Run?
I think Keenan Allen could be a problem for Born to Run. With Mike Williams now, on IR. I think he's going to eat even more than he has him, if that's even possible. But I agree with the Derrick Henry projection. If Derrick Henry even comes close to his projection, I'm not even going to say comes close to it. I'll give Rifle the edge on this one.
All right. Yeah, it's hard. I would just prefer that the Rifle not keep putting Miles Sanders in. Like, I know he's in a good situation. I don't think it's good.
You're just asking for trouble at some point,
right?
Trouble. Yeah.
And I don't think he likes putting him in either. He constantly picking up. He had that great mild soreness that he put together, and yet here he is in the lineup.
Eckler practiced today, so you could be seeing a return of Eckler into the lineup.
Oh, I don't like hearing that.
Right? Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's concerning to me.
Yep. Yeah. All right, let's go. Boy, this could be a really good game. We'll see what goes on. I can't wait for Thursday.
Yeah. Because he had what, Jordan Love, I think, in the lineup, right?
I think so.
So unfortunately, that makes me have to watch a crappy game, which I'd prefer not to. But I shouldn't say it. The Lions I find the Lions entertaining now. Honestly.
Yeah, that's a good team. They got something good going on.
Yeah.
And Laporta looks like a superstar in the making, so we'll see. Sody Pantloads takes on Boston Beans. This is a squeaker projected right now, 118 to 116. The Beans fell to 1-2 last week. Sody picked up their second win, sitting in fourth place at 2-1. A lot of check marks on the Sody side of the ball here. Walt, who you got?
I gotta say it. I mean, with the revival of Jamar Chase, again, receivers, he's plugging in old Zach Moss again. I like Pickens. That seems to be picking up, so he's got them. Wow, that sounds good. Pickens picking up.
Yeah, he's picking up.
Yep, against Houston. I like the Pantloads. I mean, I hate to say it. It kills me.
Ty, who you got in this matchup?
Yeah, it's tough for me to pick a winner here at all. Two of the teams are probably the most vocal haters of worst team ever. So you know what? I'm giving a little taste. They're going to push. It's going to be a tie.
There you go.
We've seen it before. Ty is calling the tie, and I'm going to say as long as I keep seeing Najee Harris in that lineup, I can't give a vote for Boston.
That's a great.
Get rid of that.
Excellent observation.
You're dirtying up your lineup with that. Just get rid of it.
You're just pressing your luck. You almost deserve to lose by doing that.
Right.
You can't be stubborn.
No.
You got to watch out for that.
Absolutely. Cam Akers is projected to go off for 1 point this week. We'll see if he can ride his way into the lineup. And Gus Edwards is banged up, but he's in a good position. Like I feel like once he gets healthy, that could be a player from the
I do
bench
too.
that rises up. So
yep, I agree with that.
And it would make the lineup sad, but Kareem Hunt could start getting more carries this week too. We'll see.
Yeah, I wonder on that one. I think Ford definitely is going to be the number one, but
what does that mean?
He's a rookie though, right? Yeah. So they hit that wall.
Absolutely. What does that mean for running backs right now when you're number one? That means you probably will get 12 carries and your backup will get 9. It's sad.
Isn't it? That is the state of the NFL right now. It's no question. You don't have that, I guess, bell cow anymore, that kind of running back. Yep.
Yeah, boy, there's nothing I can really do to jiggle this.
It's like the old days.
Broadcast.
We're a radio broadcast.
Right. Yeah. All right, so I failed to get the bomb screen and punt results up. So that's week 4. We've talked about week 4. Some teams, nope, that didn't work. Some teams are really looking. I can start to see the separation. That's kind of what some teams are looking to do. If you're 2-1, 3-1 is great. Like 2-1 is good. 3-1 puts you in a really good position. Same token, if you're 1-2, 1-3 isn't all that happy.
It's one game, but I'm going to tell you, I feel so much better if I'm 2-2.
2-2 is way
versus
better than
1-3. It just, I don't know why.
2 wins after 4 weeks. Again, if you're chasing 7, that's a good position to be in.
Right.
And no lineup just wants a win this week. You don't want to be 0-4. It's not the time to jump off the bridge at 0-4, but you better do something.
Yeah, you're really thinking about it, what you need to do to try to shake it up at that point.
Absolutely. So let's take a quick peek at the... Oh, all right, Sox fans also hearing the audio. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Unfortunately, seem to be a little glitchy with the internet here. I'm glad that we got as far as we did.
Hey, just the fact we're able to broadcast, I think it's a big plus.
Yeah, although the live broadcast from McCarthy's might have been interesting. Get the old.
Would have got a little more colorful on the commentary.
The Wi-Fi password from them. We could have made somewhere. All right, Ty. Thanks for calling in. Good things happening in BARFF, and finally. Some good things, in my opinion, like the games in the NFL last week, way more entertaining. That first week was just trash everywhere. Yeah, definitely. The offenses are catching up, and that's, to me, that's, I hate to say it, those school days of hard-nosed, close defensive games. I used to love them back then, but even now, I'm like, nah, I'd rather not. I'd rather see a lot of scoring. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. There's definitely that potential this week with our games, with the NFL games, and with our games. I think that some of our games are going to be really entertaining. Yeah,
I think there'll be a lot to talk about.
Yep, and I think that Huey can have a day. We'll just see. We'll wait and see. That's why we play the game.
That's why we play the games. Exactly.
All right, Ty. Once again, thank you for calling in. Always makes the show better when we get participation. Well, thanks for coming all the way down.
Yeah, my pleasure.
To the podcast, and I'm glad that the tech issues didn't completely derail us this week. And that is our show for the week. Let's see where we are standings wise at the end of next week, and good luck to all.
Yeah, good luck, everyone.
See you, Ty.
See you, Ty.
Take care.
Oh, what the hell? That's weird. Just glitched, huh?